Once again, good afternoon, everyone, as we get you set for men's basketball as the Bobcats take on the Saints of Flagler College here at the Centennial Center. Alongside Al Weston, I'm Scott McLeod, the producer by our side as well, as always, and Thompson taking care of the business on the YouTube broadcast, along with all of our great camera folks today. Bobcats come in at 4-5 after upsetting the Braves of UNC Pembroke on Sunday. 67-64, a big win in Pembroke, North Carolina. Wesley Simpson with a career-high 21 points, had 11 rebounds, and was just 2 assists away from a triple-double. He had 8 assists, his second straight double-double for Georgia College. He claimed the Peach Belt Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week honors with that performance. Also got the Georgia College Athlete of the Week award as well. So the Bobcats, with their first home game of the season after starting off the first of the year and the first of the campaign, 9 games away from the friendly confines of Centennial, finally getting a chance to play in front of the home crowd here on this Thursday before the holiday. Flagler College coming in at 4-4. They have yet to play a Peach Belt ball game, as this is the tip-off of the conference campaign for Coach Chad Warner's Saints. Warner in his second year as the head coach of the Saints. They're 1-2 away from St. Augustine. They lost their last time out back on the 16th of this month to William Jessup, 77-74. That snapped a 2-game win streak for the Saints. They come in averaging 79.7 points a contest, but giving up 74 a ball game. On the other side of the coin, the Bobcats are averaging 67 points, giving up 73. So that's why they're a little bit below that 500 mark, and hoping to square off their season record here with a win this afternoon. Mark Gaines, the head coach of the Cats, in his 6th year now, with Ryan Aquino at his side as the assistant coach. Bobcats shooting 39% from the floor, giving up 43% from the floor by opponents. Flagler just shooting the lights out in the early going of this season. They're hitting 47% of their shots on the floor, but they're giving up 42% as well. So a lot of scoring and a lot of shooting for Flagler and their opponents in this contest. And they had a similar matchup with a lot of ball games against opponents outside of the conference. They beat Southern Wesleyan, lost to Anderson and Embry-Riddle. They defeated Tampa, lost at St. Leo, and then won those 2 straight games in Augusta at Payne, and won a home game with Payne before losing to William Jessup. Georgia College led in scoring by the leading scorer in the Peach Belt Conference. That is Jordan Thomas, coming in at 18.4 points a contest on the season. Thomas, the former Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Year, getting the job done scoring-wise in his 3rd year here at Georgia College. Trying to check out some individual stats for GC and see what JT has done in terms of national honors, but I haven't been able to find that on my sheet. Here we go. He is 98th in the nation in scoring. Got a guy from Minnesota, Crookston, averaging 29 points a ball game. So Jordan Thomas, among the leaders in the Peach Belt Conference. He's 4th in the conference right now instead of 1st like we said, but he's 4th in Peach Belt at 18.4 points a contest. Leading rebounder for the Cats. How about our point guard getting the most missed shots? At 8.1 rebounds a ball game is Wesley Simpson. He's also averaging just under 9 points a contest. And for the Flagler College Saints, they are led in both scoring and rebounding by Jetty Uarzapayas. And Jetty from London, averaging 18 points and 9.1 rebounds a contest. So he's getting the job done scoring and rebounding as well. Bobcats and Saints about to hook it up here in Peach Belt Conference action. Again, first home game of the entire season for the Georgia College men's basketball team. And in terms of rebounds per game, Uarzapayas is third in Peach Belt Conference play, 46th in the country with those 9+ boards a ball game. He is 5th in the conference in scoring, just below Jordan Thomas in the season average department. We'll get a chance to meet the starters here in just a little bit. And now getting set up for our national anthem here at Centennial. Our national anthem here at Centennial. As we get set to meet the starters, first of all, for the Flagler Saints, Demerit Brown will be a guard, 6'4" senior from Ocoee, Florida, out of Shorter University here in Georgia. Alonte Peckins is a 5'10" guard, a junior from Chicago, transfer from Kirkwood Community College. The third guard in the lineup for Coach Warner is Logan Swackhammer, 6'2" sophomore from Chillicothe, Ohio. Jetty Zapaitis, from London, 6'5" sophomore, their leading scorer and leading rebounder, will be up front for them, and he'll be joined by Chris Metzger, 6'7" junior from Plantation, Florida, averaging 4 points and nearly 5 rebounds a ball game. So that's their starting lineup for the Flagler College Saints, as they'll be dressed out in their road black uniforms here this afternoon. And we'll be meeting the Bobcats now, as we got the video presentation once again. Maybe. Okay. We may just have to move right along, as our video board is not cooperating here this afternoon. As we get set for the starting lineups for the Bobcats and the Saints going at it here at Centennial. Starting lineup for GC, it'll be Chris Parks at forward, 6'5", 250-pound sophomore from Buford, Georgia, out of Collins Hill High, 10 points, 4 rebounds a ball game. Jordan Thomas, the leading scorer for the Bobcats, at 18.4 points, 4.8 rebounds, the 6'1" junior from Conyers and Heritage High. Wesley Simpson will be a point guard, 6'1", 190, the sophomore from DeLand, Florida, out of Union Grove in McDonough, 8.7 points, 8.1 rebounds ball game. Austin Decker is a guard for GC at 6'3", 155, redshirt freshman from Sewanee and Lambert High, 3.6 points, 1.4 rebounds a ball game. And A.J. James will round out the five, a 6'1" guard, 180-pound freshman from Bowman, Georgia, out of Elbert County High School. And he is coming in with 4.9 points a contest and 3.4 rebounds a ball game. So those are your starters for both teams today. Again, the Bobcats at 4-5, 1-0 in the Peach Belt. Flagler 4-4, and this is their initial Peach Belt Conference game of the season.
Scott, real excited to see what we can bring to the table here. Our first opportunity to catch Georgia College men's basketball in action, and you see right in front of you there Jordan Thomas, of course, one of the more electric scorers in the Peach Belt Conference. See him maybe try and get started quickly here against the Saints.
Georgia College will jump center with A.J. James, and GC gets the tip. Bruce Benedict leads the officiating crew. Yes, the Bruce Benedict. former Atlanta Braves catcher, back with us once again for another year. Simpson off the left side.
He gets a lot of our ball games.
He
We've
does.
seen him a bunch here.
Well, I think he lives in the Greensboro area. He says it's an easy trip for him.
That was Chris Parks, the Queens transfer, falling a little short on the baby hook.
Three-pointer up, no good. Rebound knocked around, and finally Parks recovers it on a flat foot board.
Scott, one of the things rebounding is going to be tricky for GC all year long. Our leading rebounder is actually our point guard, Wesley Simpson.
Yeah, that's hard to believe, but it's rebounding can be just a hustle stat for you as Pickens gets the first foul of the ball game.
Yeah, Simpson every bit of 6'1" out there, and he's doing the job for you. So we're kind of going to be a bit more of a outside shooting squad, a bit more of a running type of team this year, as Simpson knocks down the first free throw there.
Now he's 8 out of 12 for 67% on the season. The sophomore from native of DeLand, Florida, but played his high school ball in Georgia. And he'll drop in the second free throw, and the Georgia College Bobcats get the
grew up in McDonough. I think his family moved to DeLand this past year, so that's why he's claiming Florida hometown.
I remember making out the roster and saying, well, last year we had him as a Georgia native. Nice spin move inside by Metzger, and Metzger ties the ball game up.
Metzger's a big body. He's going to be tough to battle with. 6'7", 220 down there low.
Wesley Simpson nails one from outside. He's got all 4 of the Bobcat points. They'll get it down to Metzger again. Turnaround hook shot over A.J. James, who's given up about 6 inches at least on Metzger.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for the freshman, and going to have to figure out something, maybe slide Parks over there. Parks a little bit more of a wide body. James will give you the leaping ability down low.
Simpson high posted to Parks, tries to get around Metzger, can't do it. Back left side, JT for 3, got it. Bottoms his 29th of the season in 74 tries. Three-pointer to Answers off the mark. Parks clears it, ahead to Simpson. West stops, pops, didn't drop. And here's Metzger with a rebound. Check it, it's not Metzger, it's Jetty. Stop and go dribble and a floater. Oh, a little rainbow dropped in for Pickens.
Yep, Pickens with a nice drop there. He averages 10.1 points per ball game. The team 79.8 on the year. They've got 4 guys that average double-figure scoring.
Ball got tipped out of bounds right at midcourt. Swackhammer went after it but tipped it out. GC will have to inbound it in the backcourt.
Swackhammer, one of my favorite names
that's
in the
a good
Peach Belt Conference.
Indeed.
Got some oomph to it.
You and I love good names, don't we?
Yep.
UR Zapitis is a pretty good one, too.
Yeah. So hopefully you don't have to say it too many times.
Well, he's their leading scorer and leading rebounder and always on the floor, so I'm going to be saying Jetty a lot, I think.
There was Jetty right there with that rebound.
Bounce pass into Metzger off the left block. Back to the bucket, spins into the paint. Right-hand hook up and in. There's no answer for him yet. And the Flagler Saints get their first lead at 8-7.
Yeah, I got a new 5-spot coming in for Georgia College here.
The wave change.
Yep, going to go line with a whole line change.
Traveling violation. Deckard turned it over, and the Saints will get the ball back again, leading by 1. Well, just as you got comfortable with those 5 on the floor, we're going to have to change it up for the Bobcats as Koneman leads the second group on the floor, along with Brandon Thomas. We have to have 2 Thomases on the roster every year, don't we?
I think that's
a regulation here. Yeah. Austin Sloan is on, as is Richard Crawford III. And I believe Justin Cave, yes.
Yep, that is correct.
They'll get it left side to Pickens. Fade away is good, and it's a 10-7 lead. Crawford, the backup point guard, the freshman from Evans. Very young Bobcat squad here. Jumper up by Thomas. Brandon Thomas missed it. They want to run down the floor, push it back out to Swackhammer. Almost traveled. Got it left baseline to Jetty. Backs his way in on Crawford. He's double teamed. They'll kick it back out to Metzger, and Metzger will scoop it up and miss it. Koneman with the long arms got the board.
Good rebound there for Christian Koneman. Koneman has 4 starts on the year, so he's seen about the most minutes of anybody in this group.
Justin Cave, who had some playing time last year, gets it off to Kahneman. Three-pointer away, off the mark, but a rebound and a block. Sloan got the rebound, put it up, and the freshman got the shot snuffed.
That was Metzger from behind with the block shot.
Swackhammer's three is an air ball and fades out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. Bobcats trail by 3 as we go to our first break on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, that was a pretty quick hook for Coach Gaines with that 5-for-5 change early on in this ball game, and the Cats down by 3. He was not pleased with what he saw out of the starters. Jordan Thomas with only one shot. He did drop in the three-pointer, but only one shot for your leading scorer in the first 3+ minutes.
I think it was the defensive effort that was the concern for that line change more so than the offensive side.
Bobcats work at right side. Cave straightaway 3. Justin Cave hammers in his 7th three-pointer, the sophomore from Savannah. Matching 3 is good. You can do it, I can do it. Dropped down by Alante Pickens, from Chicago, his 19th three-pointer to fall this year. Cave, step back 3 this time. It's an air ball. Settled right into the hands of Demerit Brown. Brown tried to get it down to Damir Hadjic. And Hadjic saw it float out of bounds off a Bobcat hand. He'll get the inbounds pass, get it in the left corner. Three-pointer up and good. Pickens with back-to-back triples. He banged into Mark Gaines on the way down. So the lead back to 6, and the starters are about to get back out on the floor.
Yeah, early on it was trouble on the inside. Now it's trouble on the outside.
Justin Cave missed that triple. Swackhammer brings it down, gets it to Pickens. Wide open 3 again. He missed it in the corner. And it's out of bounds off Jetty's hands, and GC will get the 5 starters back out there.
Got some finals in Peach Belt Conference basketball. On the women's side, Lander beats Young Harris 71-57. Clayton State with a 81-67 win over UNC Pembroke. And we do have one final in men's action too, believe it or not.
That's quick.
I think they must flip-flop ball games. Maybe they started. Maybe they had one of those Education Day style games, but UNC Pembroke 98 and Clayton State 74 at the final in men's hoops.
Oh, my.
Lander on top of Young Harris 66-52 in the men's side with 10:26 left to go in the second half. Talk through a situation here. Was this shot clock concern? It seems like that sort of is the default concern every time.
Yeah, every time you got it.
The new rulings are sometimes tricky to manage.
Coach Warner had a question for Bruce Benedict. Wesley Simpson on the left wing.
Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week right here.
Gets the entry pass into JT. Turnaround jumper. It's short. Swackhammer right in his face. Jetty gets the rebound, pushes it ahead. Right side Pickens dribbles into the paint. Kicks it around the left wing. Bounce pass off the left side of the lane. And up and under, and a reach-in foul. Oh! Well, we had The baseline official, Benedict, called the jump ball. I thought the outside official was going to tag A.J. James with a foul. It's still going to be Flagler's possession.
Yep, jump ball, the call there. As James was giving up the baseline. I don't know if that's part of the defensive alignment for GC, is that they were maybe trying to set a trap down low.
Hadzich will throw it to the right wing.
This is Derek Ellis, Jr.,
Ball
newcomer for the Flagler Saints.
GC with a pickoff, though. Right side, Decker dumps it back out to Parks. It's stripped out of his hands, goes out of bounds at the north end zone, where 3 people are sitting way up in the dark. And that's the only people in the section there, huh?
Parks, second leading scorer on the squad, 10.1 points per ball game. And he, of course, comes from some real good basketball there at Queens University. Spent some time at the #1 team in the country for a little bit.
JT floated up there and missed it. Right side, now back straight away to Swackhammer. Dribbles to the middle of the paint, pushes it back outside. Somehow, Ellis was able to control himself and not travel with it.
All sorts of trouble with footing out there right now, as you see a bunch of folks hitting the deck.
Got gold shoes, you got red shoes, you got yellow shoes, you got blue shoes. My goodness, I'd love to have the shoe concession here.
Yeah,
we got a carry.
Oh, the ever so rare carry.
Indeed, a little pancake.
Yeah, grab yourself a lottery ticket today, folks. It's you don't see the carry get called very often. That's nice.
So Hadget's called for the travel.
When I was at Lockhaven University, my previous job before here, we had an assistant coach, Jumpin' Johnny Wilson. He was a former Harlem Globetrotter.
Ah.
And his job was just to yell carry the entire contest.
That's quite a job. He got paid for that?
I'm sure there was more to it than that.
Okay.
His son was the head coach, so he was just kind of an emeritus.
I gotcha.
Or emeritus, or however that's pronounced. But yeah, just lots of carry, just over and over again, trying to get the carry call.
Jump up good. Swackhammer straight away 3. The lead is ballooned to 9 for Flagler as the Bobcats have gotten a cold spell here.
Yeah, what's the answer here, Scott?
We haven't scored since the 15:37 mark, so that's 5 minutes. 3 minutes off the clock.
But we're not exactly getting stops either. So it's one thing to not knock the ball down, but also we gotta stop it on the defensive end.
Parks goes out. Coleman back in for GC.
Nice little touch on the Flagler jerseys. They got the state of Florida on the back above the number outlined in red there. That's pretty sharp. That's kind of neat.
Alex Pontelich comes in.
Easy for you to say.
Sophomore from Belgrade, Serbia. This is a totally international team. I mean, they've got players from all over the country here. And then they've got a kid from the Netherlands. Jumper up by Deckard floats out, but GC saves it. And Kahneman has his shot rejected. Kicks it back out to Deckard. Deckard 3, got it. He had a man right in his face as Pontelich came up on him, but Deckard knocked it down for his 11th triple.
Deckard thought he got fouled on that first try, and I think he had a little bit of a legitimate complaint, but was able to knock down the second attempt.
12 minutes to go, first half. Backdoor bounce pass. JT refused to let him take the shot. Back up top. Drop it off right side. Pontelich for 3. Coleman overplays. Out of bounds off James, who wasn't looking for that tip. And we've got our under 12 timeout. Bobcats trail by 6, and we'll step away for this message. Bobcat Broadcast Network.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Back at Centennial, Flagler with a 6-point cushion.
Early going, hot shooting here for the Saints. 58% from the floor, 7 of 12 from the field right now. Georgia College just 3 of 11 in comparison. So looking to hopefully get things rolling. That's unofficial numbers early on. I think we're a little bit behind on the stats, just a bit. Individual leaders. Let's see, 8 points for Metzger, as he was a terror early on. Really didn't have much of an answer for him down low. I got Wesley Simpson leading Georgia College with 4 points.
Got to get JT going here. Jordan Thomas, he had only 7 points against UNC Pembroke, even though the Bobcats were victorious in that one on Sunday.
Yeah, Scott, I mean, you have a situation where he wasn't in the starting lineup for disciplinary reasons, and you go into a tough place like UNC Pembroke to take on a very difficult team, and you come out with a win, even with your best player bringing just 7 points to the table.
Jetty on the drive, he walked with it. Yep, took that extra step before kicking it out to Bontelich.
That extra step caused by Wesley Simpson coming down on the trap there. Got in the passing lane and made Jetty take an extra step.
Brandon Thomas is checked in. Jordan Thomas on the floor, so both our Thomases on the floor at the same time.
I believe Alex Pantelich came back in for the Saints.
Koneman going to dribble out. Back up top to Simpson. Wesley rises and scores. You got a smooth shot.
Yeah, lost art of the mid-range jumper right there.
A drive and a ball knocked away, recovered on the ground by Simpson. Man, he's just a ball hawk. And James hiked the basketball to Simpson. Oh, I hope we got that one.
Oh,
that'll be a Sports Center highlight. Runners up and good off the window.
Thomas, the finish there, the transfer from Mercer, Division I program right down the road in Macon.
Got a lot of youngsters on this roster.
Yeah, Thomas a freshman because he redshirted his season there with the Bears.
But some experience as well. Three-pointer clangs off the window. Loose on the deck again, diving for it. Again is Simpson. Held ball. GC's got the arrow, and we'll have the basketball back again.
Now the good play here over the last couple of minutes. Some fun with James hiking the. That was the only option that he had.
That's right.
He was double teamed up front. The ball was on the ground.
He knew somebody was behind him.
Yep, he's like, I just got to flip this thing back here somehow. How about between the legs?
7-0 run for the Bobcats have gotten him right back in it here.
Big fella back in for Flagler. No surprise to see Metzger, who was so dominant early on, as they want to try and maybe stem off this little rally of ours.
Simpson down low, and a turnaround jumper by Thomas refuses to fall, but he got fouled. And that'll be charged to Pickens. That'll be 2 on Alante. And third team foul in the half.
I do like to see that, as Pickens was very sharp with the three-point shot. He's already up to 10 points in the ball game. And now got a little bit of foul trouble. He'll have to go to the bench for Demerit Brown.
Brandon Thomas now 13 of 21 at the free throw line. Public health major here at GC. Redshirt freshman from McDonough and Eagles Landing knocks in the second free throw as well. He's got 4 for the day, and we're tied at 19. Good run by the Cats. Now they got to play some more D. GC checks Sloan back in. Swackhammer around the left perimeter. Back to him. Spots up for a 3 and knocks it down again.
You could tell they really wanted to work a three-point shot there, just between those two guys, back and forth. A little bit of penetration and a kick, then another penetration and a kick, and Swackhammer knocks it down.
Midway through the first half, GC trails by 3. Simpson on the right wing. Thomas comes off. JT back out near midcourt, trying to drive, goes in, puts it too strong off the window. Sloan drops it back in.
Yeah, that was 50% Sloan and 50% Chris Metzger for the Saints.
Here's Metzger coming down, rolls it over Koneman and missed it. Sloan with the board. Here's Thomas. Off to the other Thomas, and Brandon walked with it.
Yeah, tried to get the defense off balance there, and I think he got himself off balance as well.
GC will make a change. Justin Cave returns for Brandon Thomas. And got to get a sneaker tied here by one of the Bobcats.
And that's one of the more important sneakers out there, as it's on the left foot of Wesley Simpson.
So we're ready to play again. GC down by a single point. Dribbling across the timeline. They'll go with their ball weave up front. Metzger drops it off into the left corner. Swackhammer open for 3 again. Man, you got to put somebody on number 3, because he's draining those threes.
Swackhammer came into the ball game at 3.8 points per contest, up to 9 already. As he only had 5 made threes coming into the ball game, shooting 24% from long range, and he has been hot here in the last couple minutes.
Simpson with a long 2 is a glass ball, comes down into the hands of Jetty. And Ellis Jr. will take it. Pick it to Swackhammer and thrown right into the body of Sloan, but knocked away. And now here's Swackhammer again. Bang! Another triple. And it's 28-21. And we had a stoppage in play. I don't know if we've got a technical because the bench kind of exploded. I did not see anybody call a timeout.
I did not either. And the Saints aren't headed toward the bench. Not sure what the whistle was for. Maybe some type of warning for the Flagler bench. I'm not sure.
They all jumped up off the bench, and I think a couple of them actually wound up on the floor.
Yep, so we do have a technical called as Jordan Thomas will take to the free throw line.
So the bench gets tagged with a T, and JT at the line, 76% at the stripe this year. Now 23 of 30 for the campaign.
I was here for the Saints walkthrough as well this morning, and they were boisterous, to say the least. There was some, slamming of tables and things like that, trying to get them really, it was like a football type of atmosphere.
Wow.
That they were trying to bring just to get the energy up for them, I'm sure. And, maybe a little bit too much energy there, perhaps. Who knows?
Full court pressure applied. Now they'll back it off after we got the inbounds pass into Thomas.
One of the assistant coaches was abusing the Pickle Barrel Cafe and Sports Pub sign across the way that you see there, folks. But it's fine because it just makes a lot of noise. The sign is in good shape.
It's sturdy.
Don't worry, Bob. It's okay.
Sloan's 3 doesn't go. Koneman skies to get the rebound and knocks it in off the glass.
Okay, Koneman down there with the trees. I still would like to get him on a better eating program. If we need an eating coach, I think I can put my resume in there.
They've got Koneman listed at just 190 and 6'7". A triple to answer by Derek Ellis Jr. from Hartford, Connecticut, out of Mercyhurst University. And it's 6-point lead for the Flagler Saints.
Yeah, we need to get Koneman, Sloan on the Al Weston eating program, I think. Thicken them up a little bit.
You could show them how to do that. There's Koneman again inside. Christian last year showed some really good flashes, and CK can really help out this Bobcat program in the next couple of years.
He can stretch a defense too, because he's a big fellow that hits the 3, so he's a matchup problem.
Travel by Ellis.
Yep, Ellis asking the official. I saw his lips go, well, what did I do? So getting a little bit of explanation. Probably just those flashy gold shoes. They look like they take some extra steps maybe.
Our under 8 timeout. Bobcats down by 4 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. GC down by 4. They were down by 9 points at 19-10 before rallying to tie the contest. And now Flagler with a slim edge here.
Flagler still shooting real well. 12 of 20, 60% from the field. Georgia College at 36%, 9 of 25. Rebounds evened up. I'm kind of surprised to see they had at 12 apiece, as Flagler does have a size advantage on us. So the team's battling down low. Swackhammer with 12 points.
Austin Sloan's triple won't fall. Jetty with a rebound, and he dribbles between his legs to control it. He gets an outlet pass. Swackhammer back to Ellis. Ellis in the middle of the paint, floats it up there, missed it, and a rebound by Simpson. Fires it ahead to Cave on the right wing. Back to Simpson.
I missed the freshman year Justin Cave hairdo. You know, that kind of made him look like a pineapple. You know, just it was something to behold.
JT, speaking of hairdos,
just as he's kind of toned it down, maybe focusing on just doing his own thing. But I miss that freshman hairdo.
A little short punch up there by Metzger.
Yeah, he's not going to miss that,
No.
Chris Metzger. That's point blank range, and he's got a team high, looks like 12 points now, and they've all been right up front.
Justin Cave deep on the right side near the sideline. Back around the left perimeter go the Cats. Here's JT again. Swackhammer tried to draw a charge, and the ball knocked in the air. Swackhammer's loopy as he hit the deck, the back of his head. I guess he's all right. Running down the sideline. Pickens gets it underneath. Jumpers up and good by Brown.
Okay, momentum again starting to shift a little bit into Flagler's favor here. As the Bobcats maybe going to slow things down, try and take the wind out of their sails some.
Justin Cave circles to the top of the key, drops it back off for Simpson. Left side for Justin, and JC missed it. And an outlet pass for Flagler. Bobcats getting cold here. Jetty trails, puts up a long three, and bangs it in. That's his 33rd triple of the season.
Zapinas was thinking about that three-pointer, you know, somewhere back here in the backcourt. He was just lining his feet up, ready for that kick out and knock it down.
That was NBA range three. He was so far back behind the arc. That ties him with Demerit Brown for three-pointers made on the season at 33 apiece. And a timeout taken, I believe, GC.
Took it, I think,
it's
yeah.
an 8-point lead for Flagler now at the 5-minute mark. So Georgia College trying to hang close with Flagler before this one starts to get away from them here late in the first half.
Yeah, you got a tough situation here because it's not the guys that have been dangerous for them all year long that are doing the damage right now. So you're letting, Swackhammer get the shot because he only averaged 3.8 points per game coming in, and shoot, he's got 12 points already. So guys are doing things that they haven't done all year, and it's kind of tough to defend that type of matchup because also Chris Metzger, he came into the ball game at 4 points a contest, and I think he's up to 6 or 8 now. So
GC gets Parks back into the lineup. Bobcats with Simpson, right side to A.J. James, and fumbled out of bounds on the baseline by Chris Parks. A turnover gives the ball back to Flagler.
Yeah, bounce pass there looked good from James, but Parks didn't get the handle, and that's going to be a short trip for him as he heads to the bench for Austin Sloan.
Sloan returns. Bobcats averaging 13.5 turnovers a ball game, and that's a little bit more than Coach Gaines would love to have. Of course, he and Terry Sellers think very much alike about defense. Three-pointer right corner doesn't go. Rebound by GC. Simpson got it quickly ahead to Cave. Back to Simpson. Wesley spins in the paint, floats it up, missed it. Rebound, stick back good. That's A.J. James, the freshman from Bowman.
Tip in there for James as he finishes things off. Good elevation from the young freshman.
We got some good dudes out there this year, like you were talking about. That's a
That is
good look, too.
look.
Oh, my goodness. Zapinas dropped it another triple, and Mark Gaines calls another timeout. He does not like the way we're playing defense on the three-point shots. The big guy just hammered one down again.
At this rate, if we call a timeout after every Zapinas three, we're going to run out pretty quickly as he is heating up a little bit. Going to stretch that out to a full, looks like, as they'll take a seat. Maybe that'll be the under 4 media.
We'll stretch it out ourselves. Take a break. Bobcats down by 9 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Georgia College with just 2 timeouts remaining. Coach Gain is not afraid to stop play, especially on the defensive side when he's not happy with what he sees. And the last 2 times have been very trying for the coach.
Yeah, I mean, again, as a defensive, relationship here, you're trying to limit the guys that have been their studs all year long, and it's the rest of the team that's causing a lot of the problems here. 41-32, the score. Bobcats hanging tough.
Under 4 now. High post it to Sloan. Around a double high post look. Get it off to Thomas, and he'll pop one down.
Tough jumper there just outside the elbow as he had 2 hands in his face.
JT with 8 points now. They go in the right corner to Swackhammer. He'll dump it down on the right side, and it's out of bounds. Metzger got forced out. He didn't see where the feet were.
Yep, had him posted up a little bit too low. Took 1 step on the baseline and had that 6th defender helping out the Bobcats.
Brandon Thomas returns for Sloan for Georgia College. Simpson will bring it into the forecourt north end. Justin Cave holds, gets it off to Wes. JT, free throw line jumper, no, but James with a rebound, kicks it out left side. 3-pointer by Brandon Thomas won't fall.
Yep, rattled around there. That was a pretty good look for Thomas.
Yeah, both Thomases. JT rarely misses wide open shots like that. There's Metzger taking a step in the paint and getting away with it. Back out to Ellis. Ellis dribbles around out to Swackhammer. His 3-pointer contested this time finally, and he missed it, but they get the board. Second chance for them. Get it down to Metzger. He'll kick it out left side. 3-pointer, no, and a foul on the floor on the rebound. It's on GC.
I'm going to put that one on Justin Cave, looks like, as he was battling down low, I believe, with Zapaitis and some other folk.
First foul of the day on GC.
And giving up some height down low, so it's, you got to battle in other ways, and sometimes you can get a little too physical on those rebound attempts.
They looked in, Bonnet, get it to Metzger, outside to Swackhammer. Simpson picked him up. Back to Zapaitis, and he walked with it, trying to get around Justin Cave. Good defensive there by number 24.
I didn't see that one, Scott. Looked like he kept that pivot foot to me, but maybe a little bit of a bump kind of put him off balance.
GC trying to hang in there, down by 7. Simpson gets a breather. He will step out for Richard Crawford III, the backup point guard from Evans and Greenbrier High. Averages a little over 9 minutes a ball game. Jordan Thomas with Swackhammer just about wearing the same jersey. JT almost broke the ankles of Swackhammer that time. Dropped it off for James, and James has the ball picked away.
Too much traffic down low there to put the ball on the floor.
Swackhammer drives, and a 2-hand flush for Metzger. Nice look from Swackhammer. Saw Metzger wide open in front of the bucket. The lead back up to now 9 points with under 2 minutes to go. Can't let it get too much further away, out of hand. Right side to James. He fumbles, recovers, puts it up there. No white shirts down there to rebound. That's rare. Zapaitis to the free throw line, back out. Right baseline. Metzger now. Swackhammer out. Metzger driving the baseline right to left, and will lay it in. Had some help defense down there, but not quickly enough, and that's 8 points now for Metzger.
That's a real tough matchup down low, and we're going to have to figure something out, maybe see if we can get him in some foul trouble or something.
A steal by Swackhammer, 2-on-2, 3-on-2 actually, a 3-ball away, and it won't drop. Rebound batted up there, and Cave will rip it down. Left side now, go the Bobcats. A drive, and ball knocked out of bounds off a sink, they say. Georgia College will get Hunter Norman on for the first time today. Redshirt freshman from Kennesaw and North Cobb Christian. Kodeman returns too.
That also means that every active member of the Georgia College roster has seen the floor today.
You got 12 on the roster, and everybody's played here in the first half.
Yep, 3 red shirts.
JT left corner.
Big 3 there to kind of get things shifted back in our direction. He's up to 11 points now as Thomas.
They'll stop the bleeding momentarily here, but the Saints with a chance. 38 seconds to go. Swackhammer open again, but he missed this time. And a foul on the rebound. Tyler Collier in for the first time. Freshman from Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. And was fouled on the shot. Crawford gets tagged with that one. Just the second team foul on GC. And the first free throw is up and too strong for Collier. 5 out of 7 now at the charity stripe for the freshman. 6'8", 240. Averages a little over 6 minutes a ball game for Coach Warner, who's in his 3rd season. I shorted him one in the introductions. Second one hops around and finally drops in. And timeout taken by Coach Warner. You can't take all 4 of them into the second half, so he'll use his here with 33.9 to go and the 9-point advantage for the Saints.
Do they get the ball at half court as well, or? I don't think so.
No, not yet.
They still got the length of the floor, right?
They've not changed that yet in men's play. That's probably coming, and I think it's probably a good rule. I don't know about this changing time on shot clocks. But
yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
I'm sure it came from some sort of, coaches, conference someplace. But I don't see the point to it.
Norman inbounds it, gets it into the hands of Crawford. Crawford contested in the backcourt by Ellis, storms across the timeline. And there's a foul over the back on Ellis as he just climbed the back of Hunter Norman. Team foul only number 5, so they've still got 1 to give if they need to.
11 points for Jordan Thomas. That means he has now moved up 15th in scoring in Georgia College history, passing Stan Lynn. Thomas now with 1,099 points.
Gets right past the big cat. Backdoor pass to Thomas. Thomas waits for Swackhammer to go past him, and he puts it up and missed it. Hit the back iron, and a rebound by Brown. 6 seconds to go before halftime. Get it to Swackhammer, shovels it inside, back in the left corner for 3, and he got it at the horn. UR Zapaitis drops it in as the Bobcats did not play defense in the final 7 seconds after the rebound. So Bobcats will head to the locker room down by a dozen, and that's the biggest advantage for the Saints so far in this ball game. As GC tried to hang around, but unable to stop the 3-ball shooting by UR Zapaitis especially. He came in with 32 3-pointers made on 64 tries. Not like we didn't know he was going to shoot them. And he was pounding them here in this first half. So 49-37, Georgia College will trail at the end of the first 20 minutes of action here at the Centennial Center. And we'll step aside and come back to Centennial with a few minutes to go before halftime and tell you what's been going on numbers-wise in this first half, as Georgia College will be down by 12 in their first home game of the entire season for GC. We'll step away and return in just a little bit. You're on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Georgia College is very good about making that community, making the connection with other people, and you can be in a class with somebody for a semester, for years, and know them a little bit. You go on one of these trips, an overnight backpacking trip or just a day canoe trip, and you're gonna get to know them a lot better, connect on a lot deeper level. Even though we do learn some technical skills out here, we do see some pretty cool things. I think it's really about just getting out here and experiencing it with other people.
It's a hidden treasure of GCSU, I would say. A lot of the students don't really know that we have it there, but it's amazing. I love the Outdoor Center. I fell in love.
When I was applying to different graduate programs, Georgia College was actually the first to contact me, and I was able to speak to the program coordinator directly. We were able to sort of build a rapport then. And through that, I felt very comfortable about coming here, even though I'd never been to the South, coming from Michigan. I still felt like there was a welcoming atmosphere.
When you start thinking about learning, it's really not a destination as much as it is a journey. And when we started out as undergrads, we didn't really know what we wanted to do when we grew up. An undergraduate really kind of gives you that foundation you can build on. And what we try to do is have our students become lifelong learners and to go ahead and prepare themselves for a very dynamic world that they're going to live in.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate into a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university. Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, man, T, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Georgia College is very good about making that community, making the connection with other people, and you can be in a class with somebody for a semester for years and know them a little bit. You go on one of these trips, an overnight backpacking trip or just a day canoe trip, and you're gonna get to know them a lot better, connect on a lot deeper level. Even though we do learn some technical skills out here, we do see some pretty cool things. I think it's really about just getting out here and experiencing it with other people.
It's a hidden treasure of GCSU, I would say. A lot of the students don't really know that we have it there, but it's amazing. I love the Outdoor Center. I fell in love.
When I was applying to different graduate programs, Georgia College was actually the first to contact me, and I was able to speak to the program coordinator directly. We were able to sort of build a rapport then. And through that, I felt very comfortable about coming here, even though I'd never been to the South, coming from Michigan. I still felt like there was a welcoming atmosphere.
When you start thinking about learning, it's really not a destination as much as it is a journey. And when we started out as undergrads, we really didn't know what we wanted to do when we grew up. An undergraduate really kind of gives you that foundation you can build on. And what we try to do is have our students become lifelong learners and to go ahead and prepare themselves for a very dynamic world that they're going to live in.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate to a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Welcome back to Centennial. The Bobcats trailing 49-37 to the Flagler Saints. Flagler shot an insane 57.6% in the first half, 19-33 from the floor, including 10 of 21 from three-point land, 47.6%. They hit 1 of 2 free throws. Bobcats only 34% in the first half. They hit 13 baskets and 38 tries, 5 of 16 from downtown. 31.3% there, and a perfect 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Flagler out rebounding the Bobcats at 21 to 18. 4 offensive, 17 defensive rebounds for the Saints, led by Zapaitis with 9. Georgia College with 8 offensive and 10 rebounds defensively. So a good split there, but still down on the boards. And GC really spread out its rebounding. Sloan and Simpson tied for high rebounding honors with 3 apiece. Here's how the scoring breaks down for Flagler. They've got 2 players in double figures with Chris Metzger, 14 points, 7 for 9 from the floor for their big guy. A dozen points for Logan Swackhammer, all of them on 3-point shots. He's 4 for 7 from long range. Jetty's Zoiapatis has 9 points to go with his 9 rebounds, so just hovering under a double-double. 8 points for Alante Pickens, 2 points for Demerit Brown, 3 points for Derek Ellis Jr., and a free throw for Tyler Collier. For Georgia College, 13 points for Jordan Thomas to lead the way. He's 4 for 10 and 3 for 3 in 3-point shooting, but he's the only Bobcat in double figures. 6 points for Wesley Simpson, 3 for Austin Deckard, 2 for A.J. James, 4 points for Brandon Thomas, 2 points for Austin Sloan, 3 for Justin Cave, and 4 for Christian Koneman. As Al said, everybody who's dressed out for the Bobcats has made an appearance on the floor. GC with just 5 turnovers. Flagler with 7 points off those mistakes. Flagler had 7 turnovers, and the Bobcats could muster only 4 points off those turns. GC with a pair of steals, same for Flagler. No blocks credited to Georgia College. 2 blocks for Flagler. Metzger had 1, and Zapaitis had the other one. Flagler leads the points in the paint at 12 to 8. GC with 12 second chance points compared to just 1 for Flagler, despite their rebounding edge. 2 fast break points for the Bobcats, none for Flagler, and the Bobcat bench outscored Flagler's bench at 13 to 14. Biggest lead for Flagler was 12, and that's where we are right now, as that shot by Zapaitis hit with only a second left.
Yeah, that was quite the dagger headed into halftime. Bobcats scratching, clawing, trying to keep it close, and then Zapaitis with just a hammer there right before the horn. Actually, the horn blew as the ball was going through the hoop. So good momentum there for Flagler. Does that carry over to the second half? We'll have to see how things start out here. Georgia College, again, what I continue to be surprised about is how much trouble we're having with the guys that don't normally do it for them. Metzger with 14 and Swackhammer with 12. Both of those guys coming into the game were averaging, like 3 points, 4 points at the most, that kind of thing. So what happens if the guys who can do it can start getting their stuff going? So that's the what if, I guess.
So let's see if we can play a little more defense in the second half. Bobcats trail by 12, and it'll be Flagler's ball to start half number 2 here at Centennial. The first home game of the season for the Bobcats. They've been away from home the first 9 efforts. And it'll be a long time before we see them again. It'll be the new year.
Yep.
When USC Aiken comes in, correct?
January 4th is the date there. Going to have the Pacers in town. Aiken looking pretty solid this year as well. 2 conference victories already for the Pacers.
Flagler inbounds. We're underway. Second half. As Pickens will bring it up to the top of the circle. North end now. They go right to left. Off to Zapaitis. Bobcats have shifted into his zone now. Back out front. 3-pointer down the well. And that was Demerit Brown ringing the bell from long range.
Yep, starting off where they finished, making shots and just being a tough defensive squad to defend.
Koneman had the ball roll off the fingertips of Metzger.
Yeah, got some changes to the lineup here. Didn't go with the starters for half number 2.
Yeah, you got Cave in there along with Brandon Thomas, Jordan Thomas.
Koneman wasn't a starter either, right?
Nope. But he's out there to start half number 2.
Interesting.
Simpson inbounds it to Brandon Thomas. And a whistle away from the ball. Charge that one to Swackhammer. His initial foul of the afternoon. First team foul, of course. GC's got a big hole to dig out of now. Again, 57% shooting, almost 58% shooting in the first half for a hot Saints team. Simpson lobs it in. Koneman going to take the three, and it's off the mark. Rebound in front of the basket by Simpson, and he'll roll it in.
Nice turnaround, dropping that one there. Again, you see Wes working hard on the glass.
And traveling called on UR Zapaitis as he tried to take it down the lane. So maybe a little change of the flow here for the Bobcats.
Got another final in Peach Belt Conference men's hoops. Lander with a 95-85 victory over Young Harris. So that's wins today for Lander and UNC Pembroke in men's hoops. Lander and Clayton gets a win in the women's side.
Koneman with a bucket. Bobcats down by 11. Good inside feed to Christian, who was wide open. Ball knocked around, recovered by Justin Cave. Long lead pass to JT. Lay it in, son. And Coach Chad Warner wants a timeout. He didn't like the way his team's playing defense right now. It's a full timeout as well with 18:41 to go. And we'll step away as the Bobcats have clawed back into it. They're down by 9 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. GC bouncing back a little bit here. Down by 9.
Yep, that fast break layup got the advantage down to single digits. So the Bobcats trying to push forward from here. 13 points now for Jordan Thomas.
Bobcats stay in the zone against the hot shooting Flagler Saints. Backdoor bounce pass, one hand, right hand stuffed by Metzger that time. Got open inside. A nice bounce pass into him. And all the good that the Bobcats have been doing just got taken right away. There's Justin Cave with a three. He'll knock it down. Justin gets his second three-pointer of the contest, his 8th of the year. He's now 2 out of 6 long-range shooting today. Metzger pivots, puts it up, missed it. Ball got tapped into the hands of Jordan. Quickly ahead to Christian. Back outside to Brandon. Three-pointer missed. Jetty gets the rebound. UR Zapaitis. I was going first names for a while there, but I figured, we don't want to reward the bad guys. I don't know any of them. And there's a big shot by Alante Pickens. A three-pointer from the Chicago native makes it 57-46.
Yeah, Pickens was tough in the first half, hit a couple of tough threes in a row. And you don't want to see him get lighted up here in the second half.
Nearly a backcourt over and back turnover by the Bobcats. Jordan Thomas drops it in, top of the circle.
Thomas up to 16 points now.
Whistle. Swackhammer continued on and bashed into Brandon Thomas at the end of the play, but a foul on Georgia College, it appears. It's on Jordan Thomas, his first of the ball game.
Derek Ellis Jr. back in for the Saints.
Team foul number 1 on the Bobcats. Non-shooting, so they'll trigger it out to Metzger. UR Zapaitis has it, and he'll stop and pop a three, and it's off the mark. Brandon Thomas got the rebound, gets it off to Jordan Thomas. JT ahead quickly to West. To Koneman. Puts it up. Way off the mark. Ball batted around and Ellis rips it out of the sky. Floats it ahead to Metzger. Metzger reverse layup. Oh, when things are going right, they're going right.
That's a tough play there. The wherewithal to collect the ball. Soft hands from the big fella as he was able to put some good touch on it.
Lead back up to double digits now. Jordan working on Swackhammer, comes around a screen and drops it off to Koneman on the old pick and roll and knocked it in.
Well, everybody concerned about Thomas, and rightfully so. Had to collapse on him, and that left Koneman wide open underneath.
Jordan averaging 2.5 assists a ball game and got one right there. Swackhammer back up top to Ellis as they play catch. Straightaway three. Swackhammer puts up a ball off the iron.
Good to see Swackhammer off target as he was so hot in the first half.
Brandon Thomas with a short shot that time on a 3-ball. Demerritt Brown just hollering for the basketball and a carry. Hey, we got another carry.
Oh, man. Get those lotto tickets, folks. 2 carries in one day. Razzle dazzle.
One for each ball game. We're at the under 16 mark. Bobcats trail by 8 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Al was digging deep in the notes there. You got any nuggets or something?
Well, just looking at this three-point shooting for Flagler has been very strong, of course, and they're 9th in the country in three-point field goals made per game. Second in the Peach Belt Conference, that number 12.4 per contest, and they've gotten their 12. They're 12 with 25
okay,
right
that's
now.
it. That's
so,
it.
So they won't make another one for the rest of the game.
There
right?
you
I think
go.
that's how that works.
That's how it works. As far as
48% from behind the arc, 12 of 25. Georgia College with 7 of 21 from long distance. But yeah, just hot shooting for Flagler, and they're getting good looks too. I mean, it's not really a luck-based type of thing. Clearly, as they are second in the conference in threes made per game.
Simpson will bring it up, gets it around Sloan, who checked in, kicks it back out to Cave, and his 3-ball drops in. Justin Cave with his third.
See, that's one of the things is that the Bobcats will try and shoot those threes from time to time as well, as they lead the Peach Belt Conference in three-point attempts on the season.
Jumper straight away for 3, answering by Demerritt Brown. The Ocoee, Florida native, makes it a 62-54 lead.
I think Brown actually got fouled on that one. There was some contact after the shot left his wrist.
Nobody's missing right now. Jordan Thomas brings it in, drops it back out. Cave from NBA range, and he got fouled.
That foul's going to go on number 1. That's Derek Ellis Jr., the junior from Hartford, Connecticut. He's a transfer from Mercyhurst, which is a Division II program up in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Now, next year, the three-point range is going to back up for both the men and the women, correct?
Yep, I believe so. That's the case. We were doing the specs for getting the floor refinished over the summer.
Cave at the line, drops in the first of 3. He's 11 for 11 at the free throw line this year. Yeah, pretty soon, if we keep backing up the three-point line, you're not going to have room in the corners.
Yeah.
To even get your feet in there. Of course, I had to mention it, and he misses the free throw.
Either that, or it's going to be, very advantageous to try and shoot from the corner as opposed to the top, because it's going to be just that much closer. I mean, it already is a little bit closer, right? Because they kind of curl off the corner.
2 of 3 for Justin. Give him 11 points for the day. Cats down by 6, trying to make a stop here as we get under 15 minutes. Slowing things down is Ellis. Looking for a cutter. Zapaitis had the ball knocked away, but he recovers it back at the free throw line. Back out to Pickens. Left corner 3 is away, and it's no good. Rebound GC. We want to run. JT, the numbers isn't going to stack up for us, but we'll slow it back down again with Simpson holding. Back up top to BT, Brandon Thomas. Cave got his man in the air, got around him, kicks it in the left corner. 3 ball up and down. Jordan Thomas knocked it in.
Pass there from Cave. You mentioned double-digit points for him. That's the 3rd time this season for Justin Cave.
Jordan Thomas has his season average and then some. 19 points right now. 3-pointer away, off the mark, a little strong, but Zapaitis got the long rebound. And ball tipped around, and GC's got it. He tried to get it out, and the Bobcats wouldn't let him. Wesley had the ball stripped, and ahead to Ellis. Ellis to Zapaitis, and a bashing foul by Jordan Thomas. 2 on JT.
A little bit sloppy for both teams there over the last couple possessions, so going to slow things down with some free throws. Zapaitis, I think, to the line for the first time today?
Yep. 13 out of 16 at the free throw line now on the entire season. Zapaitis, a native of London, drops in the second one. And it's a 5-point cushion for Flagler. Just holding the Bobcats off at arm's length for the most part. Sloan with a screen. Pick and roll's not there. Jordan's going to take it and drop it in. 22 now for Jordan Thomas. He makes it look so easy sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was a play that looked kind of broken there. It looked like they were trying to go to Sloan, and Thomas instead knocking down the 3.
It's raining threes at the Centennial Center on this Thursday afternoon evening. Tyler Collier back on the floor. Dropped it off, ball loose on the deck, and diving for it and grabbing it. Now they throw it away. Zapaitis has the ball almost stripped out of his hands, and he walked with it. 3 Bobcats converged on Jetty, and he had nowhere to go and stumbled away with the travel. So the Bobcats back within 2.
JT with 22 points. That is the 5th time over the 20-point plateau for Thomas this season.
Not bad in 10 ball games. And an offensive foul call on GC. That is on Austin Sloan. The freshman picks up his initial foul of the game. Team foul number 3. So Flagler will have to bring it 3/4 of the length of the floor. Coach Gaines not too pleased on the sideline there. Collier holds top of the key. Stretches it out, gets it off to Pickens. Into the right corner, now back to Pickens, explodes to the free throw line, floats it up and hits the back iron and then the net.
Pickens with a nice soft touch on that, just kind of flipped it up there, let it roll in.
So the lead back to 4. Wes advances, spins, puts it up. Oh, nice little baby hook. Wesley Simpson in double figures with 10 points.
Good patience there from Simpson. You don't want to rush it. Let things kind of develop down low. He knew he had a little bit of time. 10 points for him now.
Into the left corner they go. Driving, now kick it back up top. Ellis, long 3. Too strong. Zapaitis got the rebound though. Back inside to Collier. Collier pinned by Thomas. Brandon Thomas got that one. Cats with a chance to tie. There's Sloan for the flush. All tied up at 66. That'll make the young man happy. Coach Gaines trying to get some energy back in the crowd here. Back up top, 3-pointer away, missed it. Sloan with a long rebound, he got knocked to the deck. That's a foul on Collier, his first. Their 3rd, and we've got our under 12 timeout. Bobcats have gotten a little extra life. Tied up at 66 on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, coming off the deck of the Bobcats, as you get the replay.
Yeah, defense turn it into offense. You get the block from Thomas. Outlet to Simpson. Sloan running the floor like a good big man and finishing with the flush on the offensive side. Just about the whole team getting involved on that last possession.
GC trying to go to 2-0 in the Peach Belt Conference. Still a long way to go in this one. A lot of points on the board already. Simpson hits midcourt with 11 minutes to go now. Sloan back up top. Simpson delivers it off to Brandon Thomas. Brandon with a long three. Got it!
Wow.
Whoa! Brandon Thomas came in at 29% from downtown, and he knocked that one through the well. First lead for the Cats in a long time. Metzger at the free throw line. Faces the basket, working on Brandon Thomas, and he missed it. And a rebound by GC.
Good tough defense there from Thomas, not known for defending post players.
Justin Cave all day.
My goodness, 14 points now for Cave, as that's a season high for him. And everybody able to shoot from long range.
Metzger reverse layup, missed it this time, and GC with a rebound.
Yeah, Metzger kind of rushed that one, should have corralled it, and then went up.
Brandon Thomas. Yes! Oh my goodness!
That's enough for Flagler. They don't need to see that anymore.
No! 3 in a row for the Bobcats. Wow.
And was it 3 different guys, too? No,
yes.
A couple of Thomases.
Couple of Thomases.
But my goodness, I mean, everybody hitting from long range. This is exactly what you want to see from the Bobcats.
Georgia College trailed 66-62 and now have gone on a 13-0 run to take the lead.
Brandon deep out there. I mean,
wow.
He's halfway between the three-point line and half court with that last shot as you're getting a look at some of these threes.
Yeah, Chad Warner just could not stand to see that anymore. He's got 2 timeouts remaining. Bobcats have just 1, remember, after Gano called some timeouts with 3 balls by Flagler. So the Daggers have been hurting both teams and costing both teams the timeouts. Just under midway of the second half, and GC by 9 thanks to 3 straight 3 balls.
Yeah, Bobcats looking with 3 players in double-digit scoring now, as Thomas has 24, Cave 14, and Simpson 10. But Jordan Thomas with 6 threes, Cave with 4. So everybody's just getting in on the action from long range.
Bobcats now gesturing on the floor about the defensive alignments. Who's picking up whom? And UR Zapaitis is fouled. 4th team foul on GC, but it's the 3rd on Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas was trying to make a swipe for the ball and instead caught Jetty in the face.
Flagler inbounds to our left on the same side. UR Zapaitis gets the inbounds pass back to Ellis underneath the basket, back out to Swackhammer. Swackhammer loads it underneath and knocked out of bounds. Wesley Simpson put it about 4 rows up into the north end zone there.
Yep, then he went and tracked it down too. Getting everything but popping the popcorn.
You got to do it all at the D2 level, right? It'll be inbounded to UR Zapaitis. Back to Swackhammer now down the left baseline, and a running hook shot is missed. That was Hadzich with the miss. JT for 3, no. Well, the try for 4 in a row comes up short. UR Zapaitis just throws it into the underneath the scoreboard in the northeast corner of the end of the gymnasium.
Yeah, I think that would be, if this were like a coliseum, that'd be like the vomitorium down there, I think.
Is that what it would be?
Yeah, that's the terminology from like Greek and Roman times.
Vomitorium?
Vomitorium.
Vomitorium.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it has its base in like you would be enjoying yourself so much that you would go and throw up in the corner and then be ready to partake in more spirits and food and things.
Al Weston, you're making things up.
Nope, look it up. Look it up, McLeod. I know what I'm talking about. Vomitorium.
I guarantee you're not going to get that on Flagler coverage of basketball. You're only going to get it.
Listening at home, this is a one-of-a-kind experience.
One-of-a-kind Peach Belt Conference experience at Georgia College.
Absolutely.
We get it into Sloan. Got his man in the air. Off-balance jumper. He came down and shot the shot. And a foul on Sloan. A little frustration foul on Austin. That's his second.
Yep. Got a little sloppy there on the attempt to try and get the jump ball. And instead picks up the foul.
Swackhammer delivers it left side. Back to Swackhammer. Back to Pickens. He'll pop the three and hit it.
Pickens is tough. He'll slash to the hole. He's hit a couple of threes now. He always seems to hit the threes when they matter the most, too. That was a big one there to get him back within 6.
Came in averaging 10 points a game. He's up to 18 now. GC slowing it down.
How about this, like a timeout without calling it there as Coach Gaines right in the ear of Jordan Thomas.
Well, Gano did that a lot last year with the Bobcats. Just spreading the floor, stretching it out, slowing it down, and it pays off.
I think
25.
I think Coach Gaines just told me, hey, hit another three, would you?
Three-pointer left corner for them is good.
Punch,
back
counter punch here. My goodness.
Pickens with that triple.
Looks like he's up to 18 in the ball game.
78-72. GC's lead is 6, and again, we're going to slow it down. JT just dribbling away, nobody coming up on him, so he'll advance now with 10 on the shot clock.
The only thing I worry about is this might cool off our shooting some.
Jordan's going to drive in and got fouled. Went right side of the lane and got hit by Demerit Brown, his first foul.
He went right into the teeth there, too. There was not much space to work with.
Under 8 timeout here, 7:33 to play in the ball game. Georgia College with a 6-point lead at 78-72. And we'll return after these messages. You're on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Amazing numbers for both teams here as the hot shooting continues for Flagler. They're still at 50%. Georgia College starting to meet them a bit, though, up to 47% now. Both teams with double-digit threes, 14 for Flagler, 13 for Georgia College. Are just back and forth. The Bobcats dominating the bench points, 36-4, as we're getting some good work from the guys down low. We just lost our lights, Scott.
Yeah, that's why it got dark on your screen, folks.
Yeah, I think I've got the sign in for that. It's probably on a timer or something for
over the holiday break?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have probably everybody go back to their respective benches for a second, as we may have to, there we go. We're starting to come back
Still
up.
not quite there.
Boing.
Who's on?
Was that you? Wow.
I tried.
The,
it
oh,
looks
okay.
like somebody else jumped in there as well.
Okay. The magic of apps, huh?
Oh, God, it's crazy, isn't it? Control the lights from my phone.
Thomas to shoot 2 at the south free throw line. 76% free throw shooter. And he misses the first effort. Roll off right. 25 points for Jordan Thomas, the former Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. He'll drop that one in. Up to 26 now for the junior from Conyers and Heritage High School. Swackhammer across the top of the free throw line area. Throws it off, gets it back again. UR Zapaitis drops it off. Driving baseline, shot good over Thomas.
Yep, we had Ellis Jr. there just kind of get a half a step on Thomas on the baseline. And that was really all he needed to work just enough of a seam past the Bobcats for the points.
Wesley Simpson off the left side of the lane, spins, puts it up, a little half hook again, got it.
Simpson, versatility there, 6'1", posting up on the 5'11" Ellis.
Swackhammer missed it, but a follow-up by Brown. He stayed with it and was able to kiss it in off the window.
This has been a subpar game for Demerit Brown, averages 15.5 a game, but sticking with it out there and trying to do little things to help his team win.
Just his second basket. He's got 5 points right now, and a whistle away from the basketball as Cave got knocked to the deck inadvertently by Pickens.
I'm going to put that one on Pickens if the numbers are right. We got 3 on him now.
Team foul number 6 on the Saints in the half. The board says 2, so I may be incorrect.
I don't know.
Koneman looking, spinning, gets it off to Simpson, high posting it. Turnaround jumper, and it won't go down. Koneman can't get the rebound as UR Zapaitis slapped it to himself. Long down court pass, now back out to Pickens, and he had a shot maybe tipped away by Koneman.
That was blocked, yeah.
Koneman going to take the 3, and it's short.
That would have been something, huh?
That would
Get the
have.
block on one end, a 3 on the other.
Jumper away for 3, no. Pickens. Check it, that was Brown on the miss.
Live stats have Alante Pickens with 3 fouls as well, so you have to keep an eye on that. I think the scoreboard numbers might be wrong.
Inside, Cave got fouled as he tried it.
Pickens was down there.
And they're going to give it to him. It's 4 on him.
That could potentially be his 4th, and that's a big guy to lose. As he's leading the team right now in scoring with 21 points.
Justin Cave will put a couple of free throws up. Missed his first free throw of the season last time at the stripe. And used iron and glass to get that one in. Sophomore from Savannah out of Islands High School. Carl Damasi was his head coach there. He's an exercise science major at GC. Misses the second free throw, and the lead is 6. And Ellis has the ball roll out of his hands, but last touched by a Bobcat.
Really surprised to see Pickens still in the ball game here. Got 5:26 left.
A lot of time.
He's dealing with 4 fouls.
Swackhammer launches a triple, in and out. He has cooled down considerably, and it's out of bounds at the baseline. GC's ball.
Yep. UR Zapaitis trying to track that down in the corner. He's good on the glass as well, as I believe he's the team's rebounding leader with 9.1 a ball game. And almost was able to haul that one in, but it went out of bounds.
Yeah, he's among the leaders in the conference as well in rebounding.
Double-double for UR Zapaitis today, 11 points and 12 boards.
Whistle away from the ball, down on the baseline, and it's a foul on GC.
What did they get for that one there? Looks like it might have been Simpson.
Yep, Wesley gets his first foul. And GC's foul total up to 6 now for the half.
Wesley continuing to be a box score filler. Got him with 12 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds.
Could see a lot of free throws down the stretch here, Bud. Oh, nice driving layup. Kind of went away from the basket a little bit, did Ellis, but he circled it up in there.
Yeah, shades of like a George Gervin kind of with the scoopy finger roll business going on there.
I love that technical talk you have.
Well, hey, you know, that's what you can count on. Technical talk.
4-point GC lead, trying to add to it here with 4.5 to go. In the left corner, 3 ball too strong. Sloan gets the rebound, got almost tied up.
Oh, don't bring it down, big man.
Bring it down, and we put it up, and a shot blocked away by Thomas, and here comes Swackhammer underneath the basket. Just like I remember seeing him do that in Flagler several times, and there is a flush from UR Zapaitis, And he brings his team back within 2.
2-point ball game, folks, 82-80. As Urizapitis with the dunk, and Bobcats continue to slow things down.
JT standing just beyond midcourt. Got to get going now at 7. He's going to take well beyond NBA range shot and kicked off the back iron. Not exactly what we wanted a result there. Swackhammer didn't want to load up a 3. Ellis Jr. now back around the right side to Pickens. Right corner, Swackhammer, short. Rebound GC, protecting a 2-point lead with 3.5 to go.
That's a tough shot to make there with the jab step and then flinging up a 3 with fella 6'7" putting his hand in your face there in Sloan. Good job closing out.
Wesley Simpson dribbles between the rings, gets it off to Jordan Thomas. Jordan dumps it down to Sloan, catches, puts it up short. A little off balance on the shot.
A couple of Bobcats wanted a foul call there, but looked pretty clean from this angle.
3 minutes to go. GC's lead is just a deuce. Swackhammer holding between the circles, gets it off left side, and he throws it away. Bobcats will get the basketball on a turnover by Urizapitis. That's the second time he's thrown the ball away in the last few minutes. Both times trying to hit Swackhammer. And at 2:47 to go, we have the under 4 timeout. So we're going to step away. Georgia College up by 2. Don't go anywhere. You're on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Well, it's definitely crunch time.
Oof.
We still got a long time to go in this one, and a lot of points on the board.
Yep, like you said, probably going to see some free throws down the stretch here as Flagler was 17 fouls, Georgia College was 6, so everything from here on out is going to result in some shots. Got 50% shooting still for Flagler. They continue to hit just at a torrid pace. 15 threes, Bobcats have 14, as this game has really started to even out quite a bit. Rebounding numbers are in Flagler's favor, 35-32, and we've seen some pretty big rebounds from the Saints here the last couple minutes. One guy we haven't seen in a while is Metzger, as he was such a force early, and now is regulated to the bench as they go with a little bit smaller lineup. Looks like they got 4 guards and a small forward out there right now. They really are going small.
Kahneman, wraparound pass down to Simpson off the right block. Turnaround jumper short. And a rebound taken by Flagler.
Good defense there by Demerit Brown on the matchup with Simpson down low.
Simpson playing all over the floor for Coach Gaines this season. As point guard, he's posting up there as we get close to 2 minutes to go. Pickens into the corner to Swackhammer. Circles around the left side of the lane. Here is Ellis, puts it up, missed it, rebound, no on a putback, and
Urizapitis almost on the putback there. They wanted a foul call, didn't get it.
Yeah, he kept looking at the official after the no call. Justin Cave wanted to pop the 3, but he saw plenty of time left on the clock. 1:45 game clock, 12 on the shot clock. JT's going to put it up, missed it, rebound, batted around, foul over the back on Brandon Thomas. Urizapitis had position, and Brandon Thomas climbed his back. That is team foul number 7, and that puts the Bobcats over the limit for the half with 97 seconds remaining.
Well, if we're going to get to a free throw battle, take a look at the team numbers. 75% for Flagler on the year. Georgia College 8% on the season. So the Saints would have a slight advantage in that. Urizapitis, an 80% free throw shooter coming into this ball game. That appears to be second on the team behind Ellis Jr. with the regulars.
Chance to tie the score. He does.
There you go.
Well, who wants the final 97?
Imagine we'll see a lot of Jordan Thomas over these last 60 seconds here or so.
You got him right in the middle of your screen now. Over on the far sideline. Coach Gaines sitting down. Jordan starts it with 10 seconds, drives into the paint, off balance runner, no! And a rebound taken by Flagler. A lot of contact, no whistle. Left side to Brown, and it's almost stolen away. Did he walk? Yes, he did. Traveling on Flagler. GC will get it back with 1:04 to go. A big turnover. Can the Cats cash it in?
Look at Chris Parks back in the ball game. Looks like Christian Kahneman going to the bench.
And now Metzger comes in, bud.
Yep, so that's going to try and match up with Parks a little bit.
82 all. GC inbounds it to Jordan Thomas. 1 minute to play. And we'll milk that clock for all it's worth. Try to get a good look at it.
Yeah, last couple possessions has just been a little bit late in that clock before we started the offensive move.
Brandon Thomas three-pointer, no. Rebound by Metzger. 39 seconds on the rebound.
And that would have been nice, but I don't know if that's the right type of shot there. Again, Thomas was hot early.
Now they're going to take their time.
Yep,
about 10 seconds, 10 and a half seconds between shot clock and game clock. Bringing it up. Ellis explodes to the basket. Missed it on the layup. Rebound GC. 10 seconds to go. We fly it ahead and miss the pass. It's intercepted. Swackhammer driving. Kicks it off left side. 3 seconds to go. Jumper in the paint. It is up. It's no good. And we're going to have some free basketball. Overtime at Centennial. Both teams had a chance to score in the final 20 seconds. And neither team could control the basketball well, the Bobcats especially, as they gave up the ball. And the Saints flew it down the floor. Got a shot off by Urizapitis right in the middle of the paint. And not able to ring it down. And the Bobcats and Saints deadlocked at 82 with 5 more minutes at least to come.
What a second half that was really for both teams. Just the shooting was something to behold. And, how is that going to carry over into the next period?
Yeah, nobody scored in the final 97 seconds, remember, after the basket, the free throws by Urizapitis to tie the contest at 82 all. So each squad will get an extra timeout here. Bobcats, well, for some reason they've got 3 on the board for the Bobcats. I thought we only had 1 remaining, but 3 on the board for the Bobcats and 2 for Flagler. They'll stay on the same sides of the floor and go to overtime here. I don't know if the Bobcats have played an overtime game so far this season, have they?
Yes, actually, we have a couple.
Okay.
We had back-to-back overtime games with Emmanuel and Lemoyne Owen. Unfortunately, lost both of them. So 0 for 2 in the overtime contest this year. Emmanuel was a 88-77 loss. The Lemoyne Owen was a 78-70 loss. Lemoyne Owen was, of course, part of that Morehouse Classic that we played.
So the Bobcats trying to win their first overtime ball game of the season, and Swackhammer gets the tip. Flagler controls it. Can't let them get a hot start in the 5-minute overtime period here. Urizapitis back outside. 3-pointer good by Pickens. And Pickens has more than doubled his season average here. Cats trail by 3 now. That was a big triple. Jordan Thomas drives, 2-pointer away, strong. Rebound by Zapaitis. All of a sudden, there's been a lid on for the Bobcats at that south end. 3-pointer away, nope. Missed by Pickens that time. GC with a rebound. Screen, jumper, good. We're tied. JT claps his hands at the end of that one. 29 for Jordan Thomas. We're tied again. They get it off to Brown. Brown to Zapaitis. He fumbled the ball away, but recovers. Double teamed on the sideline, and they have to call a timeout. Good job by Brandon Thomas and Justin Cave to collapse on Zapaitis, and you had the sideline as an extra defender there. So Flagler burns a timeout. They should have 1 left. With 3.5 to go, the shot clock is at 10.
Yep, there it goes. Down to 1 timeout remaining for the final 3:36 here in OT. Taking a look at things, both teams in the 1-and-1 with 7 fouls apiece. And foul trouble for guys on the floor right now. 3 fouls for the Georgia College's Jordan Thomas. And that would be one that you want to pay attention to.
Yep, and Pickens, of course, with 4 fouls, but he's been with 4 fouls for a long time.
Yep, I don't think they have him on the floor right this moment, though. I'm not sure. I think I saw him check out, but yeah, quite the effort here. It's going to be a good finish.
No changes for Coach Gaines. The 2 Thomases. Simpson, Parks, and Cave. Swackhammer will inbound it just next to his bench. Bobcats stay in the man. Back out to Pickens. So he is on the floor, dribbles around Parks, kicks it back out. Step inside for a long 2, and it's good. Zapaitis dropped it in. I thought I heard the shot clock horn go off as the ball was in the air.
Indeed it did.
Or went through the net. JT fakes the 3, gets it off. 3-pointer away, missed by Brandon Thomas, and there's a rebound by Flagler. They'll try to add to a 2-point lead. Pickens dribbles to the top of the circle. Drops it off. Swackhammer for a triple. Bang.
Bobcats have 3 timeouts left. Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see one here, but that 5-point difference, that's a 2-possession ball game now.
Give and go, screen and goal, I should say, to Parks, and Parks missed it badly. That was well off the mark for the sophomore from Collins Hill.
Got bodied up there by Metzger a little bit and tried to make the adjustment in midair. Was unable to do so.
Zapaitis back to Swackhammer in the middle of the floor.
Got to get a stop here, Scott.
Yes, indeed. You're down by 5 already in OT. Throw it around the right side. Swackhammer lights it up for 3. No good. Follow-up is no good. And Zapaitis got the rebound. Going to try and work some more clock with 2 minutes to go in the over period.
That was 2 offensive boards by Zapaitis alone there as he tried the tip in and then hauled his own tip in. Miss.
Swackhammer back out with 1 on the shot clock. It's no good. Rebound GC. Down by 5. 100 seconds left in the extra period. Wesley Simpson drives, puts it high off the window and knocked it in, and a timeout by Mark Gaines.
That ball had no business going in the basket. I mean, so much contact, and he just flipped it up high off the glass. Oh, my goodness.
Simple geometry is all it is. And physics.
No business.
And no business, like physics business.
Cuts it down to 3 here.
Got to have another stop, though.
Yep. Yep, got 93 seconds left in this overtime period. Of course, Bobcats looking for their first overtime win of the year, looking for their first home win, their first home conference win. Lots of firsts.
Lots of firsts, yep. Let's see if we can get it all here.
Yeah.
We're not greedy, we just want it all.
The offensive display for both squads has continued to be amazed at the shooting for both of these teams, because in my opinion the shots have been contested too. You know, it's not like that everybody's wide open out
right
there.
Especially here in the second half. Now in the first half we let them have a couple big three-point shots that were not contested, and that's why Coach Gaines called the timeout. But here in the second half and in the overtime, we have put some bodies in people's faces.
Yep. So we're gonna go tall but slim down low. We got Kahneman and Sloan both in the ball game at the same time. If they turn sideways, they might disappear on us.
Tall but slim. And full court pressure by the Bobcats as well to try and let them eat up some clock before they get it into front court.
That's the first time, I think, right?
Yep. We haven't shown that. But Ellis got it up the floor in a hurry.
Might be a little bit of a zone here, Scott. I think that
might be the old Vegas zone. 2-3 up top.
Yep, it looks like they're kind of shuffling a little bit out front. Yeah, I think it's at Vegas.
Shot clock at 5. Yorzapaitis going to pop it over the top of the circle and drop it in. Oh my goodness, that was huge.
Hey, again, just you contest the shot and the guy just knocks it down. There's not too much you can do in that case.
Trying to answer and can't do it, but Kahneman gets the rebound, then he got fouled.
Nice job there by Kahneman. Now the Bobcats have the chance to put some points on the board with the clock not running, as Kahneman will go to the line. Coming into the ball game, 57% from the free throw line for Christian.
Yorzapaitis now up to 20 points after that three-point basket.
Might be getting into the area where we got a foul here, Scott. I'm not sure.
Possible. Yeah, you're down by 6.
How does the math work there? That's we're getting pretty close if we're not there yet.
Especially with only 48 seconds.
First trip to the line for Kahneman tonight.
By the way, Pickens picks up the foul, and he is disqualified. Yep, okay. That's 5 for Alante Pickens.
Good ball game for Pickens, as I think he will exit as their leading scorer, if I'm not mistaken. He had 24 points we got him for. 3 assists and 1 rebound.
Kahneman misses the front end of 1-and-1, and it's saved from going out of bounds by Flagler, and then it's knocked away out of bounds to Flagler. Wow, flurry of activity there. Kahneman missing the front end of that 1+1. He'll go out now.
A.J. James back in the ball game here. We might be looking for some speed and some guys to commit those fouls.
Long lead pass. Oh my goodness, he's wide open. Yorzapaitis going to drop it in with a soft two-hand stuff. And now it's an 8-point ball game with 40 seconds to go.
Somehow we lose the leading scorer. Oh, there you go.
Jordan Thomas dropped it in. And the final, next to last timeout, called by Mark Gaines, I should say. Jordan Thomas to 32 points for that triple.
Yeah, it's going to take something miraculous to get Georgia College within striking distance here. It's going to take shots like that from Thomas. The 32 points is second to his career high that happened at Erskine earlier this year of 33 points. And it's the second time this season that he's up over the 30-point mark. So great start to the season for Thomas. And what do we got to do here, Scott? I think we got to foul at this point. 4.9 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. So. And it's still 2 possessions. Yeah, probably got a foul here, right?
Indeed, and that would not put him into the double bonus.
And again, good shooting team from the free throw line, 75%. You want to steer clear of Ellis. He's at 95, and Yorzapaitis is at 80%. 83% for Tyler Collier if he's in the ball game. Looks like he's not going to be. So you want to kind of shove it away from those guys and maybe into the hands of a guy like Metzger, who's at 50% on the year, or Swackhammer at 54%. I do not see. No, yes, Swackhammer is in the ballgame.
Ellis to inbound it. Yarzapaitis gets the inbounds bounce pass back to Swackhammer. Long midcourt pass picked off. GC's got it.
Again, 2-possession ball game. Need a 2 and a 3. So you got to work quick here. Simpson for 3.
And he got it. And the final timeout taken by the Bobcats. Well, it's stacking up just the way we wanted it, and still 20 seconds to go. Flagler had a chance, but then coughed up the basketball. And the Bobcats made him pay. As you see the replay.
Yeah, this is
of the
Simpson.
shot.
You know, he's just didn't really have much develop, and they left him open, so he knocks down the 3. But that was really started by the errant pass by the Saints. You have I was kind of surprised to not see his foul immediately on the inbound, and it worked out in our favor as we got the turnover, and now it's a 2-point ball game with 20 seconds left.
Well, now you got the decision to make. Do you foul immediately, or do you let it play out and see if you can get a steal again?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to get the ball back after a missed shot. They can take the rest of the clock away from you. So
right.
I got to think we'll be looking at a foul here.
Coming down to the final 20 seconds of overtime after the teams were tied at 82 all in regulation. Georgia College battling all day long against Flagler, and confab among our 3 officials now. Coach Gaines was talking to Bruce Benedict during half of that timeout.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe they're trying to get a little bit more time back or what here.
Still discussing it. The gentleman with the whistles. James Barker and Connor Penn joining Bruce Benedict.
Okay, so
someone is.
There was an official's timeout here, I think. I'm not sure what this call is. He pointed at the shoulders like a 30-second timeout.
Right.
I guess. Yeah. I guess someone called a 30-second. I don't know what the.
Still a discussion.
Official conversation.
Yeah, all 3 of the officials are still talking about it. Bobcats have used their last one. We don't know if this timeout is going to Flagler. If so, that's their final.
Okay. Bobcats with a pair of Thomases, Simpson, Cave, and Austin Sloan on the floor.
Sloan in the middle protecting for a long pass.
Yeah, they did that to us in a similar situation earlier this ball game. Got to get a foul. Back to Yarzapaitis.
Now they get it in. He gets right past us. And a foul called. Simpson winds up on the scorer's table across the way.
Yep, that was a foul on Derek Ellis Jr., the worst of the bunch here.
Yeah.
95% free throw shooter coming into the ball game. Do you have him for anything today, Scott?
Can't tell you.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up the numbers. And yeah, this is his first trip to the line
That's
today.
what I thought. 19 out of 20 for the year for the Connecticut native. If he hits them both, it's a 2-possession game with 12.9 seconds to go. He hits the front end of 1-1, buys the bonus.
Big shot forthcoming here. At 2 possessions and 12.9 is not an easy thing to do, especially with no timeouts left.
Unless you get the old 4-point play, huh? It's good.
There it is.
He hit both of them. Gotta hurry. Bobcats hit midcourt at 11. Long bomb off the mark, no good. Brandon Thomas backs out, has the ball batted around. 3 seconds to go. Right corner 3. JT got it with 1/10 of a second.
0.7.
0.7. They're going to put 6/10 of a second on the clock.
Not sure it makes a difference, Scott.
No, it doesn't. 97-96. You can pray for a ball in the air, tip it up. The only way you can score with 7/10 of a second basically is a tip.
Yeah, but you don't have the ball. So
yeah,
you still got to get a foul.
You got to steal
off
it and
here.
then tip it.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough time for all of that to take place.
Probably not, unless we've got a slow finger across the way.
Got Jordan Thomas now with a career high, 35 points in this ball game. As it was a pretty quiet first half for him, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, JT in the first half,
13.
well, he had 13. So a quiet 13.
Quiet is a relative term, I
right,
suppose.
Right. But he did start off slowly.
And, so a great second half here, an overtime period for one of the more dynamic scorers in the Peach Belt Conference and probably in the Southeast region as well.
Bobcats are going to put their tallest player, Sloan, on the inbounds man.
It's a good call there. Get that tip potentially. You got Deckard back in the ball game as well, probably for a foul potential perhaps, and see what you can do there. Got to work some fast hands.
Ellis can run the baseline if he needs to with the timeout. He will run it.
There you go.
And there's a foul before the inbounds pass as Thomas got tied up with Swackhammer.
Wow. Okay, that's
not a bad move. Not a bad move.
Is that gonna
it's not an intentional.
Yeah, if you don't get the intentional call there, then no time ticks off the
and
clock.
It's 1-1.
And you have fouled a guy that came into the ball game at 53.8%. Oh no, the foul's going to be on Brown's going to go to the line at 71.
Yeah, but he's only 5 of 7 coming in. So he hasn't visited the free throw line too many times.
Yeah, and this is his first trip today as well. So
even if he hits them
I think
both,
it was Swackhammer.
Yeah.
Okay,
it should have been Swackhammer.
Yep. Brown went up to the line to try and get it. I think he was
trying to milk it, trying to work it.
Well, either that or maybe he had some contact with whoever was bodying him up. But yeah, that foul on Thomas was right out in front of us.
Yeah.
And Brown was nowhere nearby, so I was kind of surprised to see him toe the line. But yeah, so Swackhammer and his 54%, 53.8% at the line, his first trip as well. 15 points for Swackhammer today.
1-1, got the first.
Not really much meaning there. I mean, that just, it's going to be a fling regardless for the Bobcats. Get rid of it.
JT from well beyond three-quarter court short. And that will do it as Flagler comes to Milledgeville and takes away a win over the Georgia College Bobcats, who came off the deck not once, not twice, but about 3 or 4 times to get back in this ball game. They finally lose it overtime, 98-96. Great effort for the Bobcat men, but they fall to 4-6 on the year and even up their conference play at 1-1. Flagler wins its initial conference ball game, and they improved to 5-4 on the season. We'll get a chance to talk with Coach Mark Gaines in just a little bit. Again, just a spectacular effort for the guys in blue, white, and green. They had a chance to fall in regulation, but they tied it up 82 all and then came back, got buried early in the overtime period. But unable to get over the final hump and take away the victory here, as we'll get squared away and see if we can get Coach Gaines on the camera.
Hey.
Well,
Scott, glad to have you back.
Nice to be. Yeah, nice to see you. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way we wanted to, Coach. But you made a great effort to get back in it at the end of regulation. Looked like we were kind of down and buried for a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing happened at the start of overtime, and then you battle back again.
Yeah, I was hoping that he would make the free throw so we could have more time, on a catch in 0.7 seconds. But, give the credit to Flagler. The game plan was for number 0 not to beat us. He had 11 points. Number 13, that's concerning. He had 22 points and 22 rebounds. We're trying to deny him the ball.
22 rebounds.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Give credit to those guys. They didn't get a whole lot of help from their bench, but I like 2 and 3. They made some threes, and that was game plan. If they go, 2 for 13 or 3 for 13 or even one less, we probably win the game. But whatever it is, Scott, the same intensity that we had at Pembroke, we just didn't have tonight. That's just not Georgia College basketball, and I give all the credit to Flagler. They just came in here and whipped us.
Both teams shot extremely well from long range. I mean, my goodness, we were just raining threes down in the regulation and even in overtime.
We made 18 threes and we didn't win. We have to be. We're in our own building. We were up 9 or 12 in the second half.
Right.
I know we had a large lead, 9 with largest lead. We were up 9 with 10 minutes to go. I figured we were going to bury them. And Flagler, coach does a good job with them, and they just made some shots. But like I said, whatever it is, we didn't have it, and that's not a knock against Flagler. They beat us, but we just didn't. I didn't prepare the guys, obviously, the way that we needed to prepare in the Peach Belt, and very disappointing loss for us.
Well, you got to see Jordan Thomas, another career high. He's had 2 career highs already this season. The ceiling is still pretty high for JT.
Yeah, and he had a great game, obviously. 37 points, and had 10 threes, and that's what I've been trying to tell the guys. With our group, we have to control the ball, and it's hard when we're making all our threes and we're shooting it quick. I mean, we did make 18 threes, but our defense wasn't as good as what we expect here. They shot 48%. That's just not Georgia College defense. And like I said, they had guys that the game plan was for them to beat us, and they did. And they're much improved. They're well coached, and there's not a team in our league that we can't beat, and there's not a team in our league that can't beat us. And it's like that across the board in the Peach Belt.
Well,
good game, though.
It was a great ball game. If you didn't have a dog in the hunt, so to speak, it was a great ball game. But one more game to go before the break, Coach, and then happy holidays to you and the family and everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays. I appreciate the student section behind our bench. They were awesome, and thanks for coming to the games, everybody. We're disappointed that we lost the game, but we're still 1-1 in the league, and if you told me we had went to Pembroke and won that game, it was one of the biggest wins we've had here. They're really good.
I know it. That program has been well established, and they've always done some great things.
And they beat a good Clayton team today, is what somebody told me. But we're going to switch our starting lineup the next game. I just didn't like what we were, how we started either half. So we're going to look at it, and I told the guys, hey, at the end of the day, you have to play well if you want to stay in the game. And we just didn't play well today. And Flagler had a lot to do with that.
Well, good game. Thanks for coming by, Coach.
Happy holiday.
Nice to see you again. Mark Gaines, the head coach of the Bobcats men, as Georgia College comes away with the loss in overtime. 98-96 was your final score here this afternoon, as Georgia College was led by Jordan Thomas with 37 points, 17 for Wesley Simpson, 15 for Justin Cave, and 10 points for Brandon Thomas. 24 points for Alante Pickens to lead them, and Jetty Uarzapaitis with 22, 16 for Metzger, and 11 for Demerit Brown. They had 4 players in double figures as well. They out-rebounded the Bobcats at 47-41. They won the points in the paint battle, as you would expect, 28-24. GC had more second-chance points at 17-13. Bobcats wound up shooting 42% for the ball game, 34 of 81, 18 of 41 from downtown for 44%. But how about these numbers for the visitors? The Saints were at 48% for the ball game, 36 of 75, and 44%. They're also 18 of 41. 36 three-point shots in this contest this afternoon. So that'll do it from the Centennial Center. A split on the day for Georgia College. The women coming up with a big win as they even up their conference record at 1-1. The Bobcat men dropped to 1-1 in Peach Belt play. They'll be back in action against Clayton State, and we will be back at the Centennial Center for you on the first part of January against USC Aiken. We hope you'll get a chance to join us for that. That will be coming up on the 4th of January. That will be a 1:30, 3:30 doubleheader from Centennial. For Thompson, for Al Weston, I'm Scott McLeod. We thank you for joining us. You've been enjoying Georgia College basketball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.